everyone, my name is Hillary Dopfell with Dopfell Designs, and I am here today to show you how to use stencil vinyl from My Vinyl Direct. I like to make palette signs and wood signs, and so I'm going to show you one of the signs that I make using their product. So this is my palette I have here. The first thing I'm going to do is paint it white. Paint is drying, I'm going to go ahead and cut my stencil using the Oramask 813 vinyl from My Vinyl Direct. I use a Cricut, so I use Design Space and my Explorer. So I'm going to go ahead and load it into my machine now that I have my design properly sized out. Is cut, I'm going to go ahead and pull it off the mat and weed out the letters. So you'll want to do this carefully to make sure you don't bend or rip the back of your stencil. So now I have my stencil all weeded out and ready to apply to my sign. You're going to need vinyl transfer tape. So I'll go ahead and lay this out. I line mine up along with the edge of my table just to make sure I have it straight. And I take my stencil, line it up along the edge, and push it down from the center going out. And cut it off of the roll and set it to the side. And I go back over it and make sure it's all rubbed down. Then this next part you don't have to do, but I like to do it just to remove some of the extra transfer tape that could stick to my table when I'm done. Just put it on my paper cutter, line it up, make sure I'm not going to cut off any of my stencil that I need. And do the other side real quick. Alright, now we're ready to apply it. So first, when I peel it off, make sure you have the blue part to go with you. Remove it from the white backing. And if there's a part not pressed down all the way, just go back like that and catch it. So in this case, I would need to press harder with the tool here. Alright, now I have my stencil ready to be applied to my palette wood here. So first thing I'm going to do is make sure it's lined up where I want it. Then I'm going to press it down. And then go back over it with this. And then carefully I'll peel back my transfer tape, leaving the blue stencil attached to the wood. So here's what it looks like with the stencil applied. Next, I'm gonna make sure all the edges are pushed down again. So just go back over it, nice and firm, so I don't have any paint leak because I'm using a palette sign. I've got division of my wood. Okay, I'm gonna get my paint out, shake it up. And now I'm going to go ahead and apply my paint over the white that is showing on my sign. My paint over my stencil. What I'm going to do is put this in front of the fan and let it dry for a few minutes, and once it's totally dry, we'll go ahead and peel this off to reveal our finished product. Alright, now that my paint is dry, I'm going to go ahead and pull the stencil up and weed out the parts of the stencil in between the letters. So I'm going to carefully start at a corner and peel it back slowly. Okay, so now that my stencil has been pulled off, I now have my finished product. I like my palette signs to look a little rustic, and so I'll take sandpaper and kind of go over the edges, scuff it up a little bit, and then go across the words slightly. And I just want to rough them up a little bit. I don't want to blur my paint. I'll do it just enough to kind of give it the farmhouse look that I like. And age it a little bit. And this is definitely a step that you can skip if you prefer the crisp paint look. Some projects I prefer that on, others I don't. And if you accidentally take off too much or blend too much, you can touch up on your paint, let that dry, and then go back over it. I'm going to take a paper towel, kind of wipe it down, get my extra sawdust off from sanding here. Now I've successfully aged my sign and it's ready to go.